finally, what do you think might work out or go wrong, especially for that City Madrid game? Work
Are you
out,
ready?
work for, or go wrong? Maybe a player
That's
officiating or something.
that's what I'm saying. There can be an upamecano waiting to happen. So to be fair, City's backline it's solid enough, even though Akonji sometimes can be fairly
That if it's
aggressive.
going to start, if it's
Yeah,
going to
that's
start.
well. To be
Mm.
fair, that's if it's going to start. Um, I kind of think that because of Haaland's relentlessness, there could, one of those guys, Militao or Alaba or whoever,
Alaba.
or Trameni sometimes can be put under some sort of pressure that then exposes his relative youth, relative lack of experience in that sense. So he might be targeted somewhat. But I'm just saying, I feel that the mistake more likely will possibly come from Madrid. They are the masters of rope a dope. They'll soak things in. They are going to try to not be as unhurried on the ball. Um, so yeah, but I think that Man City has everything to pressurize Madrid into a mistake. I kind of feel that if Real Madrid scores first, Man City still has a lot in store, either bringing on Alvarez or whoever to restore parity and even still win the game. To be fair, they've not gotten to where they've gotten to by not having enough mental strength. Um, Again, City's Achilles heel is usually Pep's overthinking. I don't see.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the team itself. That team, the bench,
Mhm.
they have they have they have the right attitude most of the time. They can't keep De Bruyne quiet. It's very possible for Madrid to do that, but by and large, there are people in the City team that can still pick up the slack. If it gets to it.
Okay.
I think the midfield is what can go wrong, and then I think that Haaland is just the difference. Honestly, if Haaland was not there, I would give it to Real Madrid straight away. But with Haaland there, something can go wrong in the defense. But if you put toe to toe the defense of Man City and defense of Real Madrid, I'll give it to Real Madrid for experience and dexterity that they can control the game better. But I think the whole thing will bow down to midfield. Midfield is where I think the whole thing will happen. And if it comes to that, I will think that even more the Modric and all that could be good, but I'll give it to Man City in the long run. I think De Bruyne is faster. De Bruyne is more. His brain is wonderful, and he seems to have had better chemistry with the Viking, as Weather has continued to say. So I'd say that midfield is what can go wrong or go well. If the midfield does not crack, I think it will be a very serious game. But I would see that the dominance of Man City in the midfield will be very apparent. That's my take. So I think midfield is what can go wrong or go right, and that's where it will happen. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't expect errors from any because there's too much at stake. So I don't really expect errors. I'm looking at more of who cracks first. More like two battery rams. Haaland versus either Rudiger or any of the other guys they use, maybe Alaba. I don't think I'm not so sure Alaba might start that game for the simple fact that he's going to be facing Haaland. because if you have among the central defenders Madrid have, Alaba is the physically less imposing one of them. So it's going to be a tough game if they're going to use him. But eventually, I think one of them will crack. Uh, I won't say it would be a mistake. It might just be a moment of brilliance. From Madrid, I look at Rodrigo. Rodrigo has this way of popping up on the big occasion. And then from City, for Haaland is expected, but Alvarez could just be the match winner as well. So that's just how I feel about it.
Okay.
I think Pep in the past has been guilty of overthinking things with his starting lineup. I think he's going to keep things more simple. I think he's not going to make ridiculous changes to his formation. And I think if everyone's fit, I think Pep has enough this time to get through Madrid. And if they get through Madrid, I think they'll win the whole thing.
Okay. So the player to look out for in that game is Haaland.
It's definitely Haaland, but there's so many options in midfield. Even someone like Foden is fit again. Foden could come on and score something. You never know with that team because there's so many options. Even someone who's quiet for 3 months like Bernardo Silva can sometimes be important. So they do have lots of options. It'll be interesting to see how they press if they decide to press, because they don't always work too hard. And depending on how they start, Rodri will definitely start in terms of ball winning. But it'll be interesting to see how they start. It's probably a Rodri Gundogan, but it'll be interesting to see what they do in terms of ball winning, because I don't think they just want to let Madrid play. I think it's dangerous to let Madrid play. So that will be the key, I think, in midfield.
Yeah, I think the
I
predictions
really,
are there.
I,
We all believe. We all
I
believe.
think
I think the disappointment will come if Madrid springs a very huge surprise, because all of us here have condemned, have agreed
No, all of
that
you. I did not. I
I
did not.
don't know about you, but we have said that Man City is going to win, and that will be a very big shock if we come back maybe next time to discuss this and then we are all wrong. So it will be the greatest shock I'll have. That's that kind of. I don't do predictions normally, but this time I had to give in to Man City, which I don't like because I'm a Man U fan, and having Man City going all the things they're doing this season, coming up to start topping the table from nowhere, and then all this, it just makes me crazy because I don't want this to happen. And I knowing that they are going to play another game with us and probably win that game is really very.
Yeah.
It's
You've
not something I
lost
want to do.
already.
I think they have to
So
lose this one. They have to lose this one, and
go for
then
that.
they can win the other one. But this one, they can't get a treble this season. No way. Ah, so, but
Ernest,
that would be the best. That would be the best, thing that can happen. But on paper, I think we give it to them.
I'm fully 150% with you. I'm hoping you pull an Umpemecano. I am hoping yes, I hope, I really hope, I hope that. So again, I never write off Madrid. I mean, it was still the same year.
Yeah.
Liverpool went 2-0 up in Anfield. I mean, really. And yet they won that match almost like they beat Liverpool like they stole something from Capital Village. So I really never. I think on paper, Man City most likely will win, but I never take anything away from Madrid. I can actually see them even go again, one goal behind, and still wrestle something. And I feel that they usually thrive on that because they don't have this, high scoring, gigantic people in that sense. But what they have is the experience. There's that quiet confidence that, look, this is our cup. Again, yeah, Ernest, I won't be surprised at all. I won't. I will not be, really. Franco was saying that City punishes mistakes, but I think if there is anybody that really punishes mistakes, it's Madrid. You don't want to be having, coming up with, you don't want. They are very ruthless. That's why they've gotten to where they've gotten to. Very ruthless when it comes to punishing mistakes. So I won't be surprised at all. But if Man City gets their game, gets that midfield correct, they should still make it.
Okay. All right.
There is always Benzema. There is always Benzema. The guy has done this.
And there's
He's done this
always
hundreds and
Vinicius
hundreds
as
and
well.
hundreds of times. And there's Vinicius.
Yeah,
They've done this so much. Anything's possible.
yeah.
So maybe we should all predict Madrid to win and then Milan to beat Madrid in the final.